They made my sister the favorite for 20 years. I got revenge with oat milk and passive aggression. I was the designated scapegoat in my family. My younger sister, Emily, was the golden child, the sun around which my parents orbited. If you grew up with a sibling like that, you already know what I mean. If not, allow me to explain with a lifetime of quiet resentment and one final act of sweet, satisfying revenge. Growing up, it was always Emily's world, and I was just an unfortunate extra. She got the bigger birthday parties, the newer clothes, the unconditional praise for mediocrity, while I could bring home a 4.0 GPA and barely get a nod when I got a part in the school play. Emily's in advanced ballet, sweetie. Be happy for her. When I won a scholarship? That's nice. But did you hear Emily got chosen for homecoming court? When I got into my first choice university on a full ride? That's great. But Emily's going to state and we want to be close to her. It was like that constantly. One time I asked my mom if she'd come see me speak at a debate competition. I was the captain and it was regionals. She told me she couldn't because Emily had a dentist appointment, a routine cleaning. So yeah, I left home the second I could. I went no contact for a while in college, just to breathe. I studied computer science, joined a few clubs, got there B, made friends who thought I was funny and smart and worth listening to. It was honestly like being born again. After graduation, I landed a remote job with a decent salary. I moved 3 states away to a small but sunny apartment with a creaky balcony. It was mine. I decorated it like a Pinterest board exploded in the best way. Plants, warm lights, a cat named Muffin. Years passed. I stopped reaching out. My parents only called when they needed something or wanted to brag about Emily's latest triumph. She's dating a doctor. She got promoted at work. She's buying a house. Cool. Meanwhile, I was building a life I loved. I traveled. I learned how to cook meals I wanted. I even started a little side business doing web design for local bakeries. It was healing. And then, 6 months ago, the phone rang. Turns out Emily's life wasn't as shiny as advertised. Her doctor boyfriend dumped her. Her promotion? A lateral move with more stress. She'd bought a house she couldn't afford and lost her job. And guess what? She'd moved back in with mom and dad. My parents, who had once told me flat out that Emily just needs us more right now, were now calling me to ask for help. Financial help, emotional support, tech support, babysitting their smart fridge because Emily couldn't figure it out. And that's when I had my... I wasn't angry. I didn't want to scream or cry or slam doors. I just smiled. Because for once I was needed, and I had options. I agreed to help with conditions. Every favor I granted came wrapped in glittery boundaries and a warm, terrifying smile. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't vindictive. But I was annoyingly exact. I made a chore chart. For my parents. I labeled all the food in their fridge like they were children in a kindergarten class. Lena's yogurt. Do not touch unless you pay rent. I hosted family dinners where I praised myself for the most minor things. Wow, Lena, you really reheated that lasagna well. So brave. I brought Muffin over in a baby carrier and acted like she was their grandchild. I spoke in management speak at all times. Thanks for your feedback, Dad. I'll circle back next week. I also insisted on everything in writing. They wanted help fixing their Wi-Fi. Cool, email me the request. Need a ride somewhere. Here's a link to my Calendly. No availability. That's unfortunate. Maybe Emily can help? But the chef's kiss of it all was when I hosted a birthday party for myself and invited all my friends, ex-coworkers, and even some old neighbors. I gave myself a crown. Emily tried to complain about being left out of the planning, and I smiled sweetly and said, "It's okay. You've had 26 years of parties. I just wanted one." They were baffled, confused, a little annoyed, but they couldn't really object. I wasn't being mean. I was being methodical, pleasant, passive-aggressive in a way they couldn't quite challenge. And the best part, they started treating me like an adult, like a real person. Not always with love, but with respect. Sometimes, that's enough. I'm still not close to them, and I don't want to be. But I found power in boundaries, and a strange joy in watching the golden pedestal wobble a little. Because nothing tastes sweeter than cold lasagna you heated up yourself, and labeled, for Lena only. After a few weeks of playing helpful daughter with a smile and a clipboard, things started to shift. Not dramatically, just little cracks in the glossy surface of Emily's perfect image. One day, she barged into the kitchen while I was showing Mom how to use Google Calendar, and she just stood there, arms crossed, glaring at me like I'd insulted her soulmate. "You're doing all this for attention," she snapped. I blinked, genuinely confused. What? Like, showing mom how not to miss her cardiology appointment. Scandalous. You always act like the victim, she spat. Like everything has been so hard for you. Maybe if you weren't so dramatic all the time, people would have liked you more. My mom shifted uncomfortably, pretending to reorganize a pile of mail for the third time that hour. I could have snapped. Old me would have shrunk down, doubted myself, tried to explain. But new me? New me just sipped my coffee from a mug that said, "World's okay as sister," and smiled. Emily, I said warmly, you're not wrong. I am being dramatic, but it's honestly kind of fun. Have you seen the label printer I brought over? Life-changing. She left the room with a scoff. Later that evening, I found her trying to peel the label off my oat milk in the fridge. Touch that and I invoice you, I said sweetly from the hallway. She froze like a raccoon in a spotlight. Later that evening, I found her trying to peel the label off my oat milk in the fridge. Touch that and I invoice you, I said sweetly from the hallway. She froze like a raccoon in a spotlight. Eventually, I made a group chat called Team Functional Family and insisted we use it for coordination. I included daily affirmations like, "Today we respect boundaries." And "Don't steal food you didn't buy, accountability is love." Emily left the chat twice. I re-added her with a reaction sticker of a dancing cat. Then she started posting cryptic stuff on Facebook. Some people think they're better than everyone just because they moved away and got a cat. LOL. I commented with, "Muffin says hi." The pettiness. The glorious, pastel-colored, ethically sourced pettiness. It was a Saturday. I had made cupcakes, banana cream with cinnamon buttercream, and labeled each box. One per person. Theft equals instant family probation. We were all sitting around the table when Emily reached for her third one. I said, "Careful. Probation comes with no TV privileges." She slammed the cupcake down and actually shouted, "Why do you always have to be such a B***T*C? Dead silence. My parents stared. I stared. Muffin, perched like a fluffy queen on the windowsill, stared. I calmly picked up my cupcake, took a bite, and said, "You know, Emily, if you're feeling emotionally dysregulated, you might try journaling." "I brought you a gratitude notebook. It's in the grow-up bin by the door." She stormed off. My dad muttered something about overreacting, and my mom said, "Maybe we all just need to take a deep breath." I nodded. "I do breath work every morning. You're welcome to join." It's called Not Stealing My Stuff and Projecting Your Trauma. Very grounding. A week later, Emily moved in with a friend. She said she needed space from toxic people. I refrained from asking if mirrors made her uncomfortable. My parents didn't apologize. Not exactly, but I noticed small shifts. My mom started texting me first sometimes. My dad asked for help and then actually said thank you. They bought a second oat milk, labeled it for Lena, and placed it front and center in the fridge. Tiny gestures. But they mattered. As for Emily, she posted a good vibes only story on Instagram with a peace sign filter and hasn't messaged me since. Honestly, bliss. I'm back in my own apartment now. Muffin is thriving. I have a new embroidery project that says, "Passive aggression, because direct communication never worked with narcissists." And last week, when I visited my parents, I brought over a single cupcake in a glass dome, labeled for Lena. Because sometimes the quiet ones win.